A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed Aftersought. And right away, I just like to get down to business here. And I will say for sure, this is a pretty big one in many ways. Because the blaster that I currently have picked out for today is the Elite Surgefire. Oddly enough, this is in fact the blaster that you could see me using in the title screen of this entire series. Anytime you check out a new episode, then well, this right here is what you'd see, because yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all you need to know. The Surgefire itself is just amazing. It's probably one of my favorite blasters to date because I just blew through that whole entire drum, mainly by single fire and slam fire. Overall, I mean, this blaster really does have a lot when it comes to its overall functionality, because after all, its ergonomics are actually very similar to that of the Raider CS35 or even the Rampage, which of course utilize the same sort of foregrip kind of ergonomic on the front end and the same old grip with the trigger on the back end. But this does a lot differently because it has its own integrated drum within it. It's not a drum that you could easily remove from it, like a clip system based blaster, like the Raider and Rampage. But let's also not forget that alongside those two, there were many others that eventually followed along it with the same kind of ergonomic, with the foregrip on one end and another grip on the back end. The double grip design, as I like to call it. There were others out there that eventually came along, such as the Dominator and even the Modulus Mediator. Yeah, maybe I'll talk more about the Mediator some other time, but for now, I just like to say for sure that the Surgefire is in fact one of my favorite blasters of all time from the Elite lineup as it is, because that's pretty much just it. That's all you need to know about the blaster. It's firing, it's just astonishing. I mean, it's nice and smooth, and the function may be basic at times, but you know what? That's only because there's just a lot out there that you could probably do with something like this. Of course, you could mow down your enemies with this thing in a flash second, mainly because, I mean, it's kind of like that of the Thompson with the drum integrated within it. However, yeah, invisible at time. And fully loaded, ready to rumble. Yeah, it's action like this that really gets the blood pumping. I mean, how could you not appreciate something like that? I mean, the Surgefire is just that. It's an almost unspeakable aspect on Nerf's potential when it comes to blaster functionality, ergonomics, design, capacity, and modes of firing. I mean, I pretty much give it all an S rank, pretty much for that. But overall, the Surgefire is not entirely my favorite blaster of all time. Pretty soon, though, we will be coming to it. But for the time being, I just like to say that the Surgefire itself, its color scheme may be somewhat bland at times. I mean, just orange, light gray, black, and blue, like you can see on it. It certainly is all there, but let's also not forget, there was actually a ripoff of this blaster not too long ago. I may not be able to talk about it at the moment because I don't even own that blaster. But for the time being, I just say that for now, I just like to focus on the main points about the Surgefire itself. Its rate of fire is pretty darn good enough, especially if you can pull off the slam fire on this. I mean, if anyone could do it with the Pyro gun, then why not the Surgefire? Ergonomics are great. Its design is pretty darn good, kind of compact in a way. Its capacity with its drum is also a pretty nice call right there to have an integrated drum within it. But let's not forget, there's still a large amount of other blasters that I'm going to have to talk about in the time that I still have. So for the time being, I just give the Surgefire a solid 9.7 out of 10. Because it is still not my all-time favorite Nerf blaster. It's certainly the best blaster I've ever gotten a hold of from the Elite lineup in general, but for now, I just say that the Surgefire is probably below the point where my favorite blaster could ever be talked about. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.